Hey, I'm Eric Schmidt, and I'm here today with Joe Cohen. We're going to talk about how attorneys can avoid getting screwed when hiring a marketing firm. And Joe is a guy that I met on a marketing roundtable. He's a great guy. He's a personal business coach. I was talking with an attorney in Oklahoma, and this particular attorney had some needs that my marketing firm couldn't help him with. But as it turned out, when I met Joe, Joe was the perfect match for what this gentleman needed for his law firm in terms of dealing with the issues that he was facing. So I referred Joe to him. This was about 6 months ago, and he ended up hiring Joe. And I've checked back on a couple of occasions because he did let me know that he had hired Joe and was very happy with him. And I've checked with him since, and so far it is going extraordinarily well. He is really happy. So Joe and I decided that it might make sense if we were to get together and share some of our knowledge, because we both work with attorneys and law firms, that we might share some of our knowledge in an effort to help attorneys when they're in the process of looking for a marketing firm.
Thanks for that intro, Eric. And Eric, Eric has an ad agency and he has been in business for over 20 years. And he specializes in Google Ads and lead generation for attorneys. And I know personally that Eric has been delivering results to the client that I work with. And I've heard great things from other clients that Eric services. So thanks for your time today, Eric. And I'm looking to provide some value to the attorneys out there.
So excellent. So am I.
So Eric, what are some of the most common problems your attorney clients see when they're looking to hire marketing services?
That's a great question to pose, Joe, because it seems like you're going to hire somebody that's going to solve all of your marketing and advertising issues. But the reality is that more often than not, attorneys, especially the ones that I talk to, are in a situation where they don't know if their advertising is working. They're spending a pile of money. They're told they're getting a whole bunch of clicks, but they don't know if that's turning into clients for them. So really what you need to know is how is it that you're going to be judging a marketing company to find out if they can solve your problem? And there's going to be a number of metrics that you're going to want to look at in order to figure that out. But you really want to start with, what are the deliverables? What is it that they're going to be bringing to the table for you? So if you're hiring somebody to deal with SEO, is it going to be based on the rank of your website for certain keywords? And how long is it going to take for that to happen? So what sort of reporting are you going to get that's going to tell you what's going on, and what sort of feedback are you going to get from the marketing firm so that you know that you're getting some results out of it? In my world, which is primarily Google Ads, when we're looking online, we optimize specifically for leads. So we're not optimizing for clicks or impressions or other what might be referred to as vanity metrics. We are looking specifically for leads for our clients. So that's what the deliverable is. It's a lead. Now, how do we figure out if we're actually getting a lead or not? Well, we're going to track the advertising. We're going to do that with forms on the landing pages. We're going to do that with tracking phone numbers so that the phone calls can be recorded. We can see who's calling. Are they qualified leads or are they crappy leads? Now you get some information that helps you figure out, okay, this is what's happening. It's working, it's not working. If it's not working, you have the ability to make changes and adjustments before you've spent a whole bunch of money and it's just all gone down the drain. One of the other things that I would look at that's going to be really important is long-term contracts. So I've been in business for I had an ad agency for 3 years with a partner, and I've had my own ad agency for 20 years. In all that time, my philosophy has always been that if we are doing a good job, the client will continue to employ us. So we don't have any sort of long-term contracts. We work month to month. The idea behind that is that if we're doing our job and we're doing it well, the client is going to continue to employ us.
Hmm.
Because we're tracking everything, we know if we're doing well. The client knows if we're doing well. And if the leads aren't coming in, we either need to get it fixed or we're going to get fired. And by the way, every once in a while that does happen. That's just a simple reality of life. But any sort of long-term contract is something that should scare you, because all the risk is now on you. You have put the risk for the money on you versus the marketing firm to deliver what they're supposed to deliver. There are always exceptions to that. There is a company that I work with. I don't do SEO, but there's a company I work with that does do SEO. For them to do it and do it properly takes quite a while. So they do have a longer term contract, but they also have the metrics and they specify what the deliverables are. So they're meeting all of the criteria that would allow you to know if something is working for you or not. And that comes down to transparency. So everything that you deal with an ad agency should be transparent. If you don't know what's going on, if the ad agency is charging you $5,000 a month and you don't know what percentage of that is going to the ad agency and what percentage is going to your ads, that's a problem. You need to know what you're paying the ad agency. You need to know what you're paying for ads. And that's going to be true with pretty much any company that you
Hmm.
hire. Do you know what it is that they're charging you for their services? Do you know what it is that they're charging for the actual advertising that you're paying for? So having that transparency and that information is going to put you in a position where you can make an intelligent decision. If a company isn't transparent,
Hmm.
if they won't
Yeah.
let you see into the account, and that's one of the things we do run into periodically. Some of
Yeah.
the bigger, especially companies out there, will control all the advertising on their own accounts, not on your account. And that puts you in a position where all you can see is top level reporting. You don't know what's actually happening behind the scenes in order
Hmm.
to make that advertising work. Is it working? Is it not working? And one of the things, and this goes back to my earliest days in Google Ads, which was 16 years ago. One of the things that will happen is they'll bid on your firm name or your name as an attorney and count those leads as new business leads. And they're not. It's people who have already been referred to you or who already know who you are and are specifically looking for your name. So do we bid on your name? Yes, we do, but we count those separately and it's all transparent. So transparency, huge piece of the puzzle in terms of understanding what's going on and knowing what you're getting for what you're getting, what you're paying for.
Thank you, Eric. And that's why I feel comfortable referring clients to you, because you are very transparent and you do have a lot of data. And some of the clients that I'm working with now, they are locked in to these long-term contracts with their marketing partner. And I said, once that contract ends, they need to work with you. So I'm glad that you are sharing this information. So Eric, as you know, there is a lots of competition in the online advertising space. How do you help your clients find more profitable cases?
So, well, there's a couple of things, Joe, that we do. And first of all, and this is going to be one of the most important pieces, is that we are optimizing on an ongoing basis our clients' advertising. So Google is a live marketplace. They are updating that algorithm in little increments every single day, and they make big changes 2 to 3 times a year. If you're not updating the advertising that you're doing, if you're not monitoring it, if you're not making the proper adjustments within the Google Ads account, you're not going to put yourself in a position where you're going to be able to maximize it and make adjustments for the changes that Google is making to the algorithm. One of the other things we do, and this depends on the type of law that you're practicing, but we'll narrow the advertising down to our more profitable niches. So let's say you're a criminal attorney. I'll use this as a good example because it's one that's fresh on the top of my
Mhm.
mind right now.
Yeah.
But you're gonna advertise for criminal attorney, criminal lawyer, criminal defense lawyer, your standard keywords. One of the things that we do is we'll get into specific cases, and a good example would be drug defense attorney. So you're going to a niche. It's somebody who's been arrested for a drug charge. They specifically are using the search terms for a drug defense attorney. Well, if your opponents or if the people you're advertising against, your competition, aren't advertising on those keywords, we win on that one because we're advertising on those keywords. They usually cost less than the more generalized terms. And you're going to typically show up at the top of search results. And when you do show up, your ad, because we're specifically advertising for drug defense attorney, is going to say drug defense attorney, drug defense lawyer, drug defense law firm. We're going to have that specific information that allows you to stand out from your competition versus just criminal attorney. And that's so now you've got your ad and the landing page are matching up with what that person is searching for. You are much closer to what that person needs. Now that's going to be, most people aren't going to search that way. Some of them will, but most won't. So it tends to be a niche. The advantage of the niche, it's less expensive. So you're spending less money to get those leads. There are other types of criminal offenses that can be done the same way. And by that same token, if there are things that aren't profitable, I'll give you an example, traffic tickets. How much is somebody going to pay to get out of a traffic ticket? A couple $100 probably. If you're
Right.
if you're in a small town, that could be a profitable niche for you. But if you're in a medium size or a large city, you're going to want the more profitable cases. So we can exclude specifically people who are looking for an attorney that's going to deal with traffic tickets because it's going to be a less profitable piece of business. And the same is true with pretty much every type of law. It depends on what you're going after. If you're somebody that specializes in wills in a state law, well, we can have campaigns for probate. We can have campaigns for elder law. So it's going to be, when you go into the niches, it's going to be less expensive than the more general terms. It's going to give you a better opportunity to reach out to people who are more specific in those situations. So I'll tell you one of the things, Joe, that we do run into on a regular basis is, our job is to manage advertising and bring leads in. And since we track that, we know if the leads are coming in. Now, the question is, what happens to those leads once they get inside the law firm? And are they handled properly? Do those leads turn into business? And at what percentage do they turn into business? In some instances, we have that information where we have access to the internal tracking. In other instances, we don't. So one of the questions I've got, and this is one of the things that when I referred you to that attorney in Oklahoma, I was hoping you would help him be able to deal with, was how do you help an attorney deal with things internally so that they're able to maximize the leads that we're sending them and the business that's coming in, the potential business that's coming in the door?
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, with the attorney you referred to me and a handful of other small law firms that I'm working with, I help them create their own customized personal operating system. Part of that operating system is creating processes and systems in place so it's scalable, sustainable, consistent, predictable, and having the right people in the right seats and making sure that the attorneys, when they're having those consultations, know how to convert that into a paid client if it makes sense and the clients align, if the person in front of them is aligned with what the law firm is offering. So I think what I've seen is the personal operating system. It's been like a nice roadmap for my clients.
Excellent. That's the sort of thing I like to hear, because now we know that the leads that we're sending them are going to get properly worked. When it comes to things like and this is an attorney that we've worked with for a number of years. One of the things that she runs into is that, and she's got 4 attorneys at her firm in addition to herself, is that she typically bills significantly more hours than her associate attorneys, and that's a source of frustration for her. Is that an area that you help law firms with?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm working with a law firm now. They have about 20 associates. most of the attorneys are not billing the what's expected from them. But what I found is after speaking to the attorneys that they're not even clear. There is no clear expectation. So I'm working with the managing partner right now for 2023 to have a clear agreement, clear expectations, have meetings with everyone, and also having the attorney should have an understanding of what the firm's mission is, what's the values of the firm, what direction are they going in, making sure everyone is rowing in the same direction. So that is something that I do help with.
So cool. That's good information to know. So I hope that the people who watch this video are finding this helpful and that's sort of interesting. But let's wrap it up, and what we'll do is we'll place our contact information underneath this video so that if you want to get hold of Joe, I'll have his we'll have his email address and phone number there. We'll have my email address and phone number there. If you have questions about what we've talked about, I'm always glad to talk about it. In case you haven't figured it out yet, I can talk pretty easily for
You
I can
can.
go on for a while. And you know, Joe's an easy guy to talk to, so it makes the conversation flow
And
a lot more smoothly. Joe, anything else you wanted to say?
yeah, maybe we could do another video to provide more value in the future, and I'll collect some of the common questions that I'm getting from my clients around marketing, and I could ask you what should the response be?
So good deal.
Get your input on them.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you for everybody that has watched this. We appreciate your time and hope to talk with you in the future.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Eric. Bye.